I'm doing blessed and highly favored and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family, just thank you so much for the support, just basically being able to know that, all the things that I go through, there are so many of y'all that can totally relate. And that is such a blessing on many layers. So, with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, please drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback of the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacted your life, and heading you towards a positive direction. And if you feel like the videos are very informative to you, give you good vibes or inspiration that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or friend, or even a fellow empath that are going through trying times at the moment and just needing spiritual guidance or just needing confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share them. While you're at it, give your thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever ever you see fit. Thank you once again for the love and support. It's greatly appreciated. And I hope that you're able to, resonate with the content of my video. The music I'm listening to in the background is called 417 Hertz Energy Cleanse Your Home, Yourself, Heal Negative Energy of Your House, Frequency Healing, and it's by the channel Woke Nation. I will go ahead and put all that information in the link. The link in the description box below. And the video I'm doing today, y'all, is called Twin Flame 101. Heyokas, your high priestess will show you the way. Through my hiatus, missing in action. I was looking for different thumbnails for my videos that, I usually do. And it was just like, there's different people I've been connecting with that, I talk to on the side as well as in here. And it was just like so many different, tarot cards were coming up, and it was like showing the high priestess, and like I say, universe guides me to where I ask and I shall receive. It was just like, oh, universe, just let me know what content to write down, so these things can be shed to light on what people need to know on confirmation, because so many of y'all be like, Roslynn, I could be thinking something, or I needed assistance with something, and boom, there you go with the videos. I'm like, hey, thank the powers that be. I'm now like, well, just basically sitting and stuff. There's sometimes, like I said, I don't like reading from books, doing it textbook knowledge or whatever. I usually go off of my own experience. But I usually write stuff down if I know there may be something that I may forget. So I always make sure, if there's certain things like a different technique, or some information that they're saying, hey, go ahead and write this down, so we make sure you're not leaving any gaps or anything that they may need into that information. So I don't do tarot card readings. I know a friend of mine, she bought me some tarot cards as a gift, because she was like, Rosalind, do you read tarot cards? Because it's like the things that is like really freaky, and you would do really good. And I've had people that are subscribed to me that also does the same thing, and I'm like, what, I give y'all so many props, because there ain't no way in hell. Because it's just like my daughter, she's like, oh, my two oldest ones, like, mom, can you pull some cards for me and tell me about this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay. And that mess just really drains me. I deal with different people that are subscribed. I really don't watch tarot card readings anymore, since so many things come to me, or it directs me not to go. And it's not, I feel bad, because there are certain things I would really love to support people on, but there's a lot of times that my energy may conflict about what is coming up, and a lot of times you can get very obsessed about that. I've heard people that wouldn't go out the house without pulling cards and stuff like that. So there's certain things I can't do anymore when it comes to that. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go ahead and pull them on my own. But yeah, if you I'm gonna give the information, because I keep seeing people that are seeing things, either if it's through meditation or through dreams, or just having these little flashes, because a lot of times, even when you connect with other empaths, especially Heyokas, there's a lot of information will start popping up. And a lot of times when you're just now coming into, the knowledge of your gift, it can be very scary because you don't know what is taking place in your life. A lot of times it makes you feel like you're about to lose your last mind. But I went ahead and wrote this information down because a lot of this stuff that I spoke on, a lot of things that I wrote on, it spoke to me about certain situations that I've been through recently. But it says the high priestess meaning, when it's upright, is she teaches you that the world is not always as it seems. If you've been with me for a while, you will hear me constantly say that about the high priestess. Um, it's like its profound influences are often at play. She ushers you uh, through the thin veil of awareness, offering you a deep intuitive understanding of the universe. She's sending you in so many different directions because right now we're going through uh, very heavy transformation, transitioning, transitioning, transmutation, transcending, transmission, all these different, spiritual trends that we're all going through. Um, so she's trying to direct you in certain things that you really need to look out for. Um, the universe is like heightened awareness of secrets that are hidden information. Stands for spiritual enlightenment and illumination, divine knowledge, and wisdom. She shows up in your readings and signs when the veil between you and the world is thinning out. And you're getting closer to your spiritual self, your higher self. So trying to give you the guidance that you need, that you may not be aware of. And it access the knowledge, like I just said, deep within your soul. It says take time to be still so you can tune into your intuition. Intuitions answers you, gives you answers that you're seeking, and it will come from within. She's your guide as a venturer deep into your subconscious mind to access the inner wisdom. Because there's so many of y'all, when I start having, these different visions, because a lot of times I get visions of people before they even come connect with me. And it's kind of weird when I do that because it's like now, when I've done a lot of surrendering, that, I was really going through that. I thought I was good. I was in an okay place, but just with me connecting with people, there was a lot of energy that was still coming out from me being that wounded warrior that I really had to allow myself to make peace with, and it drove me crazy to be away from y'all for like a week because I felt like my videos, well, not felt, I feel like my videos are a very good positive outlet for me because it allows me to release a lot of things that so many of y'all can relate to. It hasn't been easy to do that, because it's just a lot of times, when you have really dealt with some trauma throughout your life, and it's still going on in your situation right now, whatever karmic connection you're having right now that you're closing doors on, and that is not something easy. It can be very emotional, especially if you're in a toxic situation when you can even be reflecting toxic energy yourself. I know if you've been with me for a while, y'all know if I'm not doing my videos, I'm putting up posts, either if they're funny memes or empath facts. I try to put out a lot of different things you may not be aware of, different techniques on how you can do your mantras, um, and just giving you a positive reminder because what we go through is not easy, and a lot of times you will feel defeated. So I try to send out a lot of things, or especially if there's a certain shift that is taking place, I always try to make sure that yeah, I put a post up about that because a lot of times you can go through all these different changes to make you feel like you're about to, your head about to explode. So okay, so I'm about to talk about the reverse um high priestess card. When if somebody does that, either even when your dreams, it's like right now when we're going through so many transmutations and transitions, you will have some very vivid dreams. Like I was seeing people breaking their arms and stuff, and me being a nurse and helping people, and you talking about like I woke up like hell no, let me go pray. But because it's like sometimes people are like, Roslynn, I can't see how you watch a lot of horror movies, and it's like I know that can be very toxic, but that's how it's certain things I can't watch anymore. It's just very selective about what I watch because like I said yesterday, I watched I watched what was it? Dog. Underworld, and that was a lot of things that was telling me about that situation that I can totally relate to. And I've always been drawn to stuff like that. I don't know why, but it was just a lot of information was coming from that I always anytime I watch a movie, I'm like, let me dive deep into that and see what the subliminal is that they're trying to get me to reach. um so the reversed high priestess is this call on you to be still, direct your attention inward, to listen to your voice, your wisdom. It may be swayed by other people's opinions, or swept up under the drama, when that when what you are really needing is to focus on you right now. And that was like I said, I had to go hibernate for a minute. It says you really need to focus on you. It's time to get quiet and withdrawn yourself from the external world to observe what your inner guidance is sharing with you now. It says, ask yourself, do you struggle to trust your intuitions fully? It says, perhaps you doubt yourself or feel silly or guilty for listening to your intuition, or as a result, you deny your ability to what is that? Oh, to tune in. Y'all is bad when I can't even read my own daggone writing. It says to tune in, receive this potent info. You may also keep your intuitive capabilities hidden from others, fearful of judgment or opinions. Know that your intuition is super powerful here, to guide you, to help you, to have faith within yourself as in the universe, to um allow yourself to be able to fall into your energies. Surrender, let go. The priestess is there in times of need, will be there, will be your guidance to things that gets crazy, when things get crazy, to get to a quiet place. You will be there. She will be there to assist you on times of need. And it's true. A lot of times, even through meditation, you could be going through some heavy, shadow work. You're dealing whatever spiritual attack you're going through. It could be the kundalini, it could be ascension, it could be dark night of the soul. All these different things that is taking place, that is like all this gunk, like pass through, what I call it, pass throw up. It's like those things that comes up that really don't settle with you, don't settle with your mind. It's not your energy is conflicting against you. Your ego may pop up again, trying to tell you, oh, remember this, remember that. And I was so blessed, even though me and that person don't talk anymore. It held a very valuable point, because a lot of times you don't realize you can be your own toxic enemy, especially if you've gone through a lot of things that has taken place in your life, and you constantly dwell on that. Even though you claim that you may be healed off of it, that energy is still there, because the universe has been connected with me for a very long time. And I've reflected a lot of things on my strength, but there was a lot of my own demons I really had to go through, because it wasn't, it was like a lot of people that I've been connecting with. The more people I connected with, the more my veils came snatching off. And with me snatching off those things and going through that transmutation, it brought up some whole daggone wounds I didn't realize was still there. But then I had to allow myself to step out myself and really look what I was projecting out towards others, as well as I'm projecting out to the universe, of seeing how my path went by itself. Now it's just like when I allowed myself to really surrender about this, and it's like you can remember all day about what took place, but you don't have to keep allowing yourself to torture yourself by reliving all those painful experiences. Those painful experiences are supposed to be there to remember what you came here for. And a lot of times you go through that empathic amnesia because you don't know. It has to take that trauma. It had to take something that really shook you for you to know that there's something missing out of your life. There's something that you are not remembering, and you had to go through that walk of life. I'll tell anybody, if you have really went through like a very damaging trauma, whether if it was recently, it could be fight with your family, like a very bad fight, or it'd be something that you have went through some type of abuse, or something where you're almost homeless. All these different things will trigger you off to guide you towards that path, because they feel like you have ran course with your life lessons. Now it's time for you to be able to transmute this, and really reflect on it. Don't dwell on it, but reflect on it so you can acknowledge what has taken place, acknowledge what has hurt you, acknowledge what has distracted you for a moment. What kind of energy are you pushing out? Are you, because a lot of times when you're going through all these different changes, you could be addicting, towards anything. Addiction does not always have to be drugs. It could be, emotional eating, cutting, masochist, any kind of masochist, or, drinking liquor, smoking weed, on any kind of other drugs or hallucinants or whatever. Those are escapes. If you're using, like I tell anybody, I don't judge anybody out this world, because all of us have a past. All of us has a way of dealing with our pain. We deal with our trauma. If you ain't had no kind of addictions, whether it was food addictions, self-harm addictions, speaking bad about yourself towards others and universe, all those things, you are a good one. You are a good one. I'll give you so many big ups to that. But a lot of us go through those things. These are the things that, it's not just your high priestess, but your archangel. It's your family that has passed on. There are so many things that's taking place right now on, like the lockdown. These are the things, it's locking you down, is barricading you in. It's like, look, I was talking to my brother last night about that, and I was just like, we don't realize it's like you're being on punishment. Like my mom, she'll whoop your little butt, and then she tell you go sit in that corner, and one of the type of parents that say, I don't want you to get up until you think about what you just did, think about what you were doing, think about what I told you. And that's what basically universe is having you do, because anything that you're working on to give you a better lifestyle, do something you actually enjoy, that does not feel like a career or a job, but this is a blessing to you. You are going to go through different challenges. They're not just going to hand whatever your blessing is to you. You're going to have to earn that. Because as a matter of fact, I said, whatever you're aiming for is already yours, but you have to be able to allow yourself to see that vision, for you to speak it into existence, for you to allow your frequency to raise towards what you're trying to do with your life. Being able to break way of anything that is negative, anything that is low frequency, anything that is holding you back from where you're trying to go. You need to go on that next level, but they will put challenges all up in your way, because this is how you learn. They want to know, okay, if I give this person this, how are they going to know? Are you do you have a game plan set out? Do you, because it's like you could be going for one thing, and it's like different challenges will take place, but this will be something that you're seeing new. They're taking you this way, and you're going to realize this. Or you may experience this from this person, and then waking something else up in you, because there's a lot of times, like I said, empathic amnesia. There's a lot of gifts that you carry. Some are there where you feel like, okay, it's just like tying a shoe, but you explain this to somebody else, and it's like, and they can't do that. You do it, it comes off naturally. Because there's a lot of times, you've been here with me, there's a lot of things I've done naturally, and then when I'm reading up on something else, it does show me about something I didn't even realize I was doing. So it's just like, wow, okay. And people are like, hey, Roslynn, can you do a video about this? And if this comes natural to me, I'm gonna go towards the textbook, because what I can do, you may not be able to do, or what you can do, I may not be able to do. So I always make sure I get like the textbook thing, so I can allow myself to really, you know, go in literal terms, or whatever you want to call it. So I make sure that you're doing it right, so you don't mess your energy up, mess your frequency up, or anything like that. Because don't be trying to come back at me, because I'm like, let me make sure that I got that to the T. But you're going through all these different things, and your blessings are there. They're already there. But all the things that you're looking for, you're on that path. Everything lies within you. Everything lies within who you truly are. You went through emotional conditioning. You went through cultural conditioning. You went through trauma of conditioning. And you had to be able to break yourself away from that. You had narcs come into your life. You had sociopaths, psychopaths. A lot of times we feel like, why are these people able to do these things to me? We handpicked all these people we are coming into connection with right now, because all that you're going through, these people don't went through some jacked up mess. Okay. But you become that example to say, even though you're placing all these things on me, you're saying this about yourself and you're inflicting it on me. But watch how I heal and I excel from past what you place me on. And that's how the world is turning right now, because there's so many people that feel like they're justified to break people emotionally, sexually, mentally, verbally, whatever, because they feel like, oh, this person did that to me. So you're making every person that kind of reminds you of that person, of what, and inflicting it on them. But then when you're allowing yourself to say, you know what, hey, I done been through these things. I've experienced this in life. I experienced that. But you have that in your heart to know that you never want anybody that you connect with, to experience the same things you are. So you had to be able to experience these different things. And all your spiritual reinforcements is coming to be able to assist you through all those times. Because, when we get ourselves in these situations to where, you're down to your last dime, or you're really trying, they're telling you, hey, you need to leave this job because we got so much better for you. You have to make these changes and sacrifice, and you're like, I gotta survive. I need to eat. I got children I gotta take care of. I got bills. I got a mortgage, all these different things. But they know all this. They know there are certain things now. If it's something like it's just a want, you're like, okay, you can wait for that. But if they know it's something where you need to survive at, trust and believe they're gonna bless you in ways that you didn't see coming. I've been seeing them a lot lately, especially with me going through all the things that I go through. And I'm really trying to be patient with all the things that has taken place in my life, and it was very stressful to me, because what I'm trying to heal from, and then I'm helping others, and then there's things that I'm still trying to walk away from, people that I'm dealing with, all these different things. But there's times where I've done videos, and if this is going on for almost close to 4 years now. There's some people that have been with me that long, and they know, hey, she don't took off for a hiatus. The last time I went off like that, I went off and took off for a month, and it drove me crazy. But then when I finally came back, that energy was so different, it hit different. But just like this now, if you've been with me for a while, you'll know, like, God, dog, Roslynn, what happened to you? That's sexy on you. I'm like, thank you. I needed that in my life, because it hasn't been easy for me. That has not been easy for me. There's a lot of things that are a trigger. I see my dad, on different videos or different performances, and, I'm really trying to make peace, and then he's always telling me, listen to the songs I made for you. Think about the times that you dreamt about me, or think about the connections when we talked on the phone and we were laughing and stuff like that. Or think about the times where you done daydreamed about us being, connected like that. I want you to do that, and even though sometimes that's good, there's sometimes they'll make me break out in tears, because even though I'm like 43 years old, it takes me back to that childhood of really, wanting my dad, and that becomes, he was like, oh, damn, I I want her to cry. But it's a blessing, because even though I was denied that, I can still be able to connect with him on that telepathic level, being able to connect with him spiritually, because I've been more open to my transferring, of emotions to, sorrow, even though, it's a natural, emotion for you to really truly miss somebody in a physical sense. Because, if love is involved, no matter what is done, who is did what, that love, it cannot be severed. We have that, what they call that soul contract, that ribbon, that Chinese ribbon. When they say the red ribbon is with that person, no matter what has taken place, that thread never breaks. It may come up tangled, but it will never come up, broken. So it's like all these different things is taking place that lets you know, don't feel like anybody got away with anything. It may be hard for you to swallow that pill, because when you allow yourself to really face what you ran from, because I ran from this my whole life. My dad, anybody who ever connected with my dad, they know that my dad got some powerful energy. And for him to be basically reflecting off what we both have connected, that mess had me hauling ass. Like, he like, I'm tired of chasing you. I'm tired of chasing you. I'll go to the end of the earth for you, but not today. So all these different things has taken place, and it has not been easy. I'll keep it real with y'all. Not every day is a positive day for me. There's sometimes I want to knock somebody's damn head off for what has taken place in my life. There's days that I will cry my eyes out. Like, because the other couple of days, I ain't gonna lie, I cried so much that, my eyes swelled shut. My head was hurting because it was like I was already receiving more downloads, and upgrades and stuff like that. And it was like the energy, my energy was so powerful the other day. My digital cable started acting up as soon as I walked up near it, you know. Um, Lights start flickering and junk like that, and then the weather changed because it was like I was going through so much stuff. When you're into your power and don't sometimes we don't have control of that because whatever you're feeling at that time, it could be very heavy. So when that goes on, you can even change manipulate the damn weather at times. I've done it. I got pissed off one day and knocked all the damn power out of the house. It was like, oh gosh, that's crazy. But things are taking place in your life where things are unfolding. You're getting a deeper understanding of what is taking place. Like I said, there are so many people that are rising up. And when I see y'all like pop out the dirt, because it looks like anybody ever seen Michael Jackson in concert or seen it on TV, where what was it? The last one he did before he transitioned. But the one I forgot what it was that he did. Not, the one he was getting ready to get ready for, but the one we was doing Smooth Criminal and stuff like that. He'll bounce out the floor. That's where I see a lot of y'all doing that. And there's a lot of y'all I see very wounded that a light is beaming down on you. So your light is shining. Because a lot of times we don't give ourselves that credit. We feel like, oh, my doubts are getting in the way, my strength is getting in my way. And it's like you have everything it takes to succeed that. But a lot of times those certain incidences or situation will take place and it will make you second guess yourself. But that's where you get energy from. That's where you're getting your strength from, because you will have these different challenges and the universe has that confidence in you. They got that faith. Like, I picked Sam and Sam just did this and this and that. And he's scared and you don't realize what kind of power he's toting back there, because you've done these millions of times, but they had to wipe your memory out, shut down some of your powers. Because if you would have came in here like you've been, oh, you wouldn't have learned nothing. You wouldn't have been able to teach anybody anything. And that's why I had to tell people and I had to remind myself, is that insane? You know, um, when people come and connect with me, and like I said in my last video, I said the universe got a dark sense of humor because I'm like, got this going on, and next thing you know, when I'm all in my feelings and all in my thoughts about certain things, and then it's just like blessings will come in where somebody asking me for my advice, you know, about what is going on is taking place in our life, because a lot of times our patience run thin, our faith gets shaky as I don't know what, like shaky Jake, you know. um your energy shifts off to more doubt and fear and uncertainty than you being able to see that energy around you of being a conqueror, something you can succeed on, what you that true warrior that they strategically designed you for this. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's hard for you to be able to feel that when you got so much BS is going on around you. You're trying to be your own peace with all the damn chaos running around you. You got people that instead of you're not supporting you, or they're throwing negative BS at you because they see the blessings that are taking place in your life. Those are where your challenges are, because you can't allow yourself to be misguided by somebody who don't want to see you shine. They see what's in you. They don't like that because you exposing something they can't do. They actually, if they can, if they will allow themselves to go through the same situation you're going through, you have to make changes. You have to make sacrifices that are not going to be comfortable for you. You don't have to allow yourself to break away from the people that may be stopping you and misguiding you on your path. A lot of times you have to allow yourself to really see the toxic energy you push out just because there are certain traumas that you're still dealing with. And you need to acknowledge, all these things I was doing. I can say I've had narcissistic ways. Narcissists don't admit to stuff like that. They'll put all blame on everybody else, except acknowledging the stuff that they done pushed out. But me, I can say that, I've had that in my life. I was exposed to that, you know. But then when I allowed myself to back up and say, you pushing out what is, I got 3 girls. I said 3 girls. Actually, I got 4 because I got 3 daughters and I got me a grandbaby. My oldest one's 25. My middle daughter, she's about to turn, well, no, she's 22. And my youngest baby, she's 19. My grandbaby, she getting ready to turn 3. And it's just with me seeing my grandbaby that makes me work extra hard because I don't want the things that I expose my children to and all allow this, my mom's ex-husband and them where they try to shy me away. because of the situation that they're not wanting to acknowledge about me when it comes to me and my dad. All that, impressed on my kids. I say, you mess with me all day, but when my kids come along, I'm like, Lord, y'all come up missing and stinking someday, I'm gonna wear. But then I had to allow myself to know this is the challenges is gonna soar you out the box. They never ran up on a person like you, and that's what you're needing to do. Everybody is that go-getter, but you have to allow yourself to step away from what you cannot change. You have to allow yourself to step away from folks that are pulling you back instead of lifting you up. A lot of times you got to face that truth that you have been avoiding for so long because it hurts. And I had to tell myself that. I became my own high priestess. I had to allow myself to look in the mirror. There's times I look in the mirror and I cried because I couldn't change a lot of things. I was flawed as hell. But I had to allow myself to see the beauty that runs in me as well as I reflect out. I had to be able to take that time off to be able to really dive deep in me, do that shadow work that I truly had to avoid, you know. Well, not had to, but I decided to. If I said, I told my girl, I said, girl, I feel like a damn hypocrite. She's like, why you say that? You keep it real. I said, yeah, but a lot of times I'm telling everybody this, but I'm not, when my situation come up, I go opposite. So I'm just like, nah, you can't be doing that. You can't. You call it as you see it. You know what I'm saying? I keep it real about that stuff because if, you go through things and it's like when I said something about my a past experience when it comes to that, when it comes to certain people that have experienced things, I'm not going to go by the person who don't went to school for this certain situation, like if you're an addict or anything like that, or you're dealing with suppression and you went, oh, I took my MBA, my MBC, and my 321, and this and this and that, and I got that. Or am I going to go to a person that experienced this, living out on the streets, was a drug addict, was a prostitute, and all these different things? I'm going to go to that person because if they've been sitting up here being sober, living good life, and they're very successful, I'd rather go to them because they knew they've been on the streets. They don't had to go towards that life. They were about that life, but they done cleaned themselves up. Then totally did a 1, 2, 3. They universe used them as an example of that. I'm gonna go towards that person because that person know what it feels like when you dealing with some heavy stuff, and it makes you want to draw back and go back to your escapes. There have been so many times I wanted to roll back and go back to weed. When I was, even with this time, I'm blessed because I didn't feel that way, but I was crying. I was crying. I felt defeated in so many different ways because I said I got tired of this. Since mine kept me away from my dad. My family done sit up here and used me as their own bank account and got healthy rich and left me and my kids in poverty, struggling on food stamps and shit while they were living good. I had to allow myself to really draw back from that because life ain't all about riches, glams, and all this. My dad had all that, and there was times he was still dealing with sadness. He had to be okay, because that pride, he didn't allow nobody to see him like that. He's a very strong man, very strong. But behind them closed doors, he was fighting with his own situations, just like everybody else. But people feel like, oh, if I got $1,000 million and this and this and that, people have a lot of money. You see how certain celebrities around here fixing and, photoshopping and, going and fixing every daggone thing just to make themselves look a certain way. I feel like, shoot, if I got the money, I want to go ahead and get something done. It's going to be from me, not because of other folks. If you don't like me how I am, flaws and all, eyes half cocked, something like that, oh, we don't need to be together. If I gotta go through all these changes, baby, you need to make a change on who you picking. You had to go through all those things. You mirror, you connect with things you mirror. There's gonna be people that either they're not, they sent people your way. Let me allow myself to retort and draw that back. There are gonna be people that connect with you that you may not be aware, because a lot of times we do things unsubconsciously where you project out, and there'll be somebody connecting with you that you're seeing from the outside in about what you need to acknowledge, what you need to heal from, what you need to learn, what you need to accept, what you need to focus, how you supposed to respond, how you supposed to see your stuff. Or there are going to be people connecting with you that needed you because you have experienced what they're experiencing. You're past that, so they need your influence, your your information on how you are able to rise above all that madness that we're dealing with. Because a lot of time we are our own war. We have our own battles in our thoughts and minds because we stay focused on this happened, this happened, this happened. Y'all have been with me for a while. If you've been with me for a while, you would hear how I would say these things. But now I can look like, you know what? Yes, this has happened to me. Yes, this has happened to me. These people did this, these people did that. But guess what? Look how many things just from the things I went through. And I said that in my post yesterday about my life. I can go all day about talking about the story of pain, the tragedy, the abuse I went through just because I was a rock star's daughter. I emulated him. I acted like him, and I was punished for something I couldn't change. You know, or I can allow yourself to know, yeah, I went through all these things, but guess what? That's no longer a part of my life. It got me to my platform, but now I'm about to be just reflecting love. I'm not going to be reflecting about what happened in my past trauma. Like, you know what? You want to know the things that I went through, the things I endured? It'll guide you towards certain videos. I got over 20, almost close to 2,500 videos I've had, covering a lot of things that I went through on top of what they, directed me to, you know, voice out, whatever video it was. So going through that wasn't fun. But then I allowed myself to really see the purpose in the pain that I've endured. You know, God and universe always know I always want to make people happy. I want them to be content. I want them to have that deep understanding about self and their path and where they're trying to go and where they're from. But don't forget where you're from. When you forgive, you have to forgive yourself first, because a lot of times we don't understand. We're torturing our own selves because we play that loop of everything that's taking place in our life. And that can stand in the way of something very big coming for you, because you're allowing something that took place in your life that can never go back different. It wasn't supposed to. That situation was supposed to change you. But a lot of times, either a situation can make you better or bitter. It's your choice. It's your choice to choose to not choose to stay in that certain situation, stay at that low vibe. You can see what you can see the people that placed you or did things to you. If you keep doing the things that you're doing that kept you stuck there, you're gonna be just like the person that inflicted that mess on you, because they never let that go. I look at the situation about my mom's ex-husband. He's still allowing his dad to rule his life, and that man's been gone over 60 years, and that man is still holding that anger about his father. I never want to be like that. I had to disassociate myself, detach myself from that life, detach myself from that family, and keep it moving, because I know I was heading towards something better. But a lot of times I got in the way of my progress and my process of my progress. I had to really allow myself to say, Roslynn, shake it off. It ain't easy, but shake it off. You got blessings that are better than what has been placed on you. That's the reason why the hell they trying to work so hard to keep you from it, because they see what is going on. What is for you, no hex, no X, no nothing can keep you away from what is for you. Only you can take that away. Because if you allow yourself to stay focused on what somebody's trying to take from you, you're actually giving that power towards that person. I had to snatch my shit back so quick. It probably took off some edges on them damn folks. I don't care. I allowed you to have something, and well, you violated to take something from me that never belonged to you. Anytime you have to manipulate, lie, deceit, cheat, stuff ain't gonna come to you honest. That shit gonna come back in full force. And when karma come knocking, she come back with a fierce vengeance, and I'll let that heifer go ahead and do what she need to do. I'm just stand back, eat my popcorn like MJ did on that damn post I put up. I'm gonna let that be. Allow your guys to handle your business like that. You stay focused on your growth. You stay focused on your peace and understanding. Where you trying to do better in your life? How you gonna reflect towards others to do the same thing? Let that be a virus that they need to keep on spreading. Now that is because we got too much hell running around here. So I hope y'all are able to enjoy. I'm gonna do a few more videos. Like I said, I missed y'all. It 1 week away felt like a year, and I ain't like that. But I'm carrying different energy now. I'm more at peace with my surroundings, and I'm glad about that. And with y'all standing by my side, y'all been sending me comments every day. It took me almost 2.5 hours, like I said, to excuse me, to reply to all y'all. But I do appreciate y'all's love. If you're new to the channel, just welcome. It's good to have you. But I'm gonna give a post notification shout out to Heyoka Amber Tiger Shark, Quinn Hefnin, Yale 1313, Megan Jerwing. Much love to you, sis, as well. I hope and pray. Know that you are truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved. And knowing there's always someone out there praying for your better days. I hope everything you're trying to manifest in your life comes 100,000 times more than what you expected. And it comes so much sooner than you think it will. Make sure you give out towards others, even through social distancing, love, prosperity, positivity, um, uplifting vibes. You never know, all those things can really take somebody a long way. So like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop me a line, share, give me a thumbs up, tell somebody about the channel. They may, enjoy it. And I will see you on my next video. Much love to you. Peace.